Hi, my name's Mark Wiltshire and it's my pleasure to be your Pathways Guide. This is a recording of the Pathways presentation that we're giving to clubs to prepare the clubs for Pathways. A little background to me, I joined Toastmasters in 2015 and as I run my own company, I wanted to get over my own fear of public speaking so that I could help more people in my business. I've completed the Competent Communicator and the Competent Leadership manuals, and I've been Vice President Membership and President of London Public Speakers. I volunteered to be a Pathways Guide and was accepted with my goal to become a better trainer. I've really enjoyed the speaking, but training is a slightly different skill. My role as Pathways Guide is to prepare your club for Pathways, help and support your club to get the most out of Pathways over the coming months. If you have any questions, and I haven't visited your club yet, save them for then and ask them at the club visit. If I have visited your club, then please ask your club Vice President Education and President, and they can get the answers for you. Who brings their Competent Communicator and Competent Leader manual to every meeting? I know I forget it sometimes. Since 2010, Toastmasters International has been working on updating, improving, and bringing the Toastmasters education program up to the 21st century. Let's see a quick introduction.
Welcome to the Toastmasters Pathways learning experience, an exciting, flexible, and interactive way to develop your skills and help others in your club develop theirs. Building on Dr. Smedley's original vision and Toastmasters' core competencies, Pathways upholds the club experience while offering new, revitalized educational content that helps you learn communication and leadership skills that address real-world scenarios. Pathways expands on the current education and leadership tracks by offering more than 300 competencies across 59 projects. These projects are divided into 10 specialized learning paths that allow you to tailor your experience to fit your needs and your pace. All of this content is available online, allowing you to learn anytime, anywhere, from your computer, laptop, or tablet through Basecamp. Basecamp is the place where you'll find all of the materials for your learning experience, along with tools for your journey. In Basecamp, you'll be able to share feedback with fellow club members, view badges you've earned, access and save digital speech evaluations, and more. When you first begin Pathways, you'll take an online assessment that will recommend the path that's right for you. You'll be able to access your path from your education transcript in Basecamp, where you can view and complete projects. New elective projects, such as write a compelling blog and manage projects successfully, allow you to tailor your learning to meet your interests. Projects in Basecamp include a variety of interactive elements, including questionnaires, quizzes, menus, and expandable content. Educational videos model skills and provide demonstrations of the concepts you are learning. For example, Prepare for an Interview shows effective and ineffective interview techniques. Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring demonstrates the difference between coaching and mentoring. And Manage Online Meetings provides the best practices and strategies for holding a webinar or another type of online meeting. As you can see, Pathways represents an exciting paradigm shift that brings with it many new learning opportunities. What's more, Pathways will feel familiar to you because it maintains the things you love about Toastmasters, including your club experience. Pathways is coming to your club soon. Visit toastmasters.org/pathways to learn more.
So are you excited? I am too. Every Toastmasters journey starts with a single speech. And it's a journey of self-discovery at your own pace. Our new learning experience Pathways has many paths, choices, opportunities, and possibilities. So what does this mean for you? It's an evolution of the Toastmasters experience. And there's far more options to customize your learning to fit your own goals and needs, and provides far more flexibility for you to choose the skills you want to improve. It's a journey that reflects Toastmasters' mission of helping individuals reach their full potential, a journey in which you can keep striving to reach your goals. Pathways allows you to explore brand new, dynamic projects that the current program simply doesn't offer. With Pathways, you broaden your abilities to meet the goals you've set for yourself. The new Pathways experience is based on 5 core competencies that are the basis of 10 distinct learning paths. Those core competencies are public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. Each path is designed to help you achieve the last competency, confidence. One path, presentation mastery, focuses solely on public speaking and building confidence in your abilities. Public speaking is an important component of the other 9 paths as well. It's a skill you'll be practicing no matter which path you choose. In fact, each path requires you to give a minimum of 15 prepared speeches. The 9 other paths also focus on a combination of the other 4 core competencies. You will have the flexibility to choose to pursue any of these. For example, innovative planning helps you build your skills as a public speaker, leader, and project manager. You will focus on strategies for creating innovative solutions as well as on public speaking. And motivational strategies helps you build your skills as a powerful and effective communicator. You will focus on building connections with others, leading small groups, and public speaking. Many other competencies are built from those 5 core competencies. In fact, you can practice and hone over 300 competencies in the new program. So with many paths and projects to choose from, you get to experience the education program the way you want to experience it. You choose your path and the competencies you want to improve based on your personal and professional goals. Each of those 10 paths is divided into these 5 levels. These levels progress in complexity as you move through them. The education content is designed to build on what you've learned in the previous level. You'll complete 2 to 3 projects per level, for a total of at least 14 projects per path. These levels are Level 1, Mastering the Fundamentals. Level 2, Learn in your style. Level 3, Increasing knowledge. Level 4, Building skills. And Level 5, Demonstrating expertise. The goal throughout Pathways is to apply what you learn as you move through to the later levels. The first project you begin with is the icebreaker at Level 1. Everyone starts with this project at Level 1 and moves through the levels sequentially. Level 1 is the only level in Pathways that is the same for every path. Why? Because the skills you learn in those projects are the foundations to your experience as a Toastmaster and public speaker. How many of you completed the Competent Communicator Manual? Have any of you completed it more than once? Did you learn something new each time you did it? Most of us do. The same is true for Level 1 in all the Pathways paths. If you pursue additional paths after your first path, you'll repeat Level 1 projects with a new experience and different goals each time. As you can see from this table, you'll serve in various meeting roles and complete a mix of required and elective projects. If a project is required, it means you must complete it as part of your path. These are the projects that contribute towards you building one or more of those core competencies that will make up your path. For example, in the public speaking path, I mentioned a few minutes ago public presentation mastery. Some of the required projects include effective body language, persuasive speaking, and manage a difficult audience. The elective projects supplement and support those core projects and your learning goals. Choosing these projects is how you customize your path and tailor it to your specific needs and goals. You must complete 1 to 2 electives at Level 3, 4, and 5. Depending on the level, however, you may complete as many electives as you like. There's no limit to how far you want to customize your path. There are a variety of elective projects for you to choose from, such as deliver social speeches, inspire your audience, create a podcast, build in a social media presence, ethical leadership, and much, much more. Earlier I mentioned no matter which path you choose, you complete at least 14 projects and give a minimum of 15 speeches. Notice, those two numbers are not the same. A big change you'll see is that a project in Pathways is not always equivalent to one speech. I know we're all used to this, especially in the Competent Communicator Manual. In most Pathways projects, not only will you give a speech, but you'll also complete other tasks before you can give that speech. Sometimes you will complete multiple tasks, and sometimes you will give multiple speeches before you complete one project. For example, let's say you're completing the Make Connections Through Networking, a Level 3 elective project. You choose this project because you want to improve your networking skills to help you as you search for a new job. You open the project and read through the first piece of information, including the assignment. You can see that you need to prepare for attending a networking event, and then later present a 5 to 7 minute speech to your club about the experience. As you read through the entire project, you begin strategizing and preparing to fulfill all the requirements. At this point, you determine a networking event to attend, prepare for it, and then you actually go to it. Once you complete those tasks, you prepare and deliver your 5 to 7 minute speech. Many assignments have additional tasks to complete. Not all are as extensive as attending an event, but you will do more than just giving a speech. So even if you're not able to speak at every meeting, you can use that time between scheduled speeches to complete other tasks. In fact, some assignments require you to spend a certain amount of time completing tasks before you can give a speech. Remember, Pathways is a self-paced program. You can take as much time as you need to complete the projects and the tasks within them. Another positive change you'll see in Pathways is speech evaluations. Who's had a poor evaluation at one of their meetings? You still give and receive verbal and written evaluations in your club meetings, but the way you do this and the resources you use have changed. Each evaluation is now tied and customized for each speech. We have all seen and received these ineffective evaluations. Sometimes they're too positive and give the speaker no suggestion for improvement, or other times they're just all negative and offering no encouragement. While sometimes evaluations lack any substance at all. This is why the evaluation process has been standardized to encourage and give effective evaluations. Here is an example of a new evaluation resource for one of the Making Connections Through Networking projects you just completed. You're going to become very familiar with these forms because every project has them. The first page gives you an overview of the assignment you're completing and helps the evaluator understand what they're trying to accomplish. Your evaluator uses the second page to score all their skills during the speech. All projects are scored on a scale of 5 to 1, 5 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. You can see what each of those scores means at the top of the page. There is a box for comments next to each so that you can give specific feedback where required. The third page helps your evaluator determine the score for each competency or skill. They use this page side by side with the second page to determine the scores. Here is what will happen when you receive an evaluation in Pathways. Before you speak, you make sure your evaluator has the evaluation resources that corresponds to the project you're completing. You can send it to your evaluator or they can download it from Basecamp. If you're completing your path in printed materials, you can give them the book, just as you do today. During the meeting, the evaluator has two options for completing that evaluation. They can either write on the printed copy, or they can download it and fill it out electronically and send it to you later. You'll be able to upload and store copies of all your evaluations. It's as simple as scanning it or photographing it and uploading it, the PDF the evaluator sends you. Feedback doesn't have to stop with your evaluations though. Through Basecamp, you can request feedback from other members of your club to help improve your skills. And you can also award badges to members to recognise skills that they demonstrate during their speeches. You will now have the opportunity to collect more feedback on the skills we demonstrate. In addition to the badges we give each other from Basecamp, you will receive digital badges and printable certificates whenever you complete each level. When you complete level 5, you will receive the Proficiency Designation. This award marks the completion of a path, a recognition of your time and effort you have devoted to building your skills. In Pathways, you're recognised at each step of the journey. You're probably wondering how long it takes to complete a path. We all work at different paces, but Learning Masters and World Headquarters staff estimate that it'll take you up to 18 months to complete a path. Some of you may finish a path quicker, while others may take time to complete all projects. Mentorship is an important part of the Toastmasters experience. Who here actually has a mentor now? And who is a mentor to someone else? Many of us have benefited from both being mentored and mentoring others. I'm excited to announce there's a new mentoring program available, the Pathways Mentor Program. Currently, there's no structured learning on how to become a mentor. So in Pathways, that has all been evolved to create this mentor program. It's a structured program that will help you identify when you're ready to be a mentor, understand the best practices for mentoring, and practice mentoring on small and larger scales. You'll be able to enroll in this project once you complete level 2 of your first path. There's no extra charge for pursuing the Pathways Mentor Program. There are 4 projects in the program, including Introduction to Pathways Mentoring at level 2, which everyone will complete. After you complete all projects in the Pathway Mentor Program, as well as a full path in Pathways, you are designated a Pathways Mentor. Yes, it's going to take a time before your club has Pathways mentors. It's okay. You can continue to use your current mentoring process until your club has moved through the Pathways Mentor Program. I encourage you all to pursue this program if you enjoy helping and supporting others to reach their goals. Now we've given you a quick overview of what Pathways has to offer. How do you get started? So my role through the next few slides is to give you that introduction to get started. First of all, you're going to choose how you're going to experience Pathways, either online or in printed materials. Next, we're going to have a look at the assessment that will help you choose and give you some ideas about which path to choose first. Then we're going to have a step through a project and show you how you access Pathways through Basecamp. And finally, we're going to encourage you all to log into Toastmasters International, because Pathways is only accessible through Toastmasters International website. Pathways is a journey. And what do you need before you start a journey? That's it, tools and supplies. In Pathways, this is Basecamp. It's a learning management system where you can access the online materials for the program. It's where your path and projects live. Basecamp is that gateway to an engaging, multi-layered learning experience that will enable you to develop many new skills and maximize your growth. Basecamp is where you'll find all your resources, where you can give and receive feedback, where you can upload and store speech evaluations, and much, much more. Here you'll find your projects, resources, tips, tools, quizzes, and much, much more. By completing your path online, you have many more opportunities and tools to grow your skills. There are helpful tutorials to show how you find information and complete certain tasks on Basecamp. With Basecamp, you get everything Pathways has to offer, and you can choose from each of the 10 paths in all 9 different languages. You aren't limited to a manual. You can carry it around with you. You can access Basecamp from your computer, laptop, or tablet, as long as you have an internet connection. What is great about Basecamp is if you prefer to print paper copies of your project and evaluations, you can. The Print My Project button here allows you to access that printable version. You can access all of your education projects from the Education Transcript. This is where you go to actually read your projects. I'm going to show you how this looks in a couple of minutes. The Speech Evaluations page is where you find that downloadable and printable copies of all the speech resources. There is so much more that you can do in Basecamp. I hope you're as excited as I am to sign in and explore it as soon as Pathways rolls out. If you choose to work in printed materials, you'll receive your booklets in the mail from Toastmasters International, just as you do today. You'll receive your path in 3 separate shipments as you progress. If you choose to use Basecamp, the online tool, which I would recommend, you will access your path and additional resources from your tablet, laptop, or computer. Not only will you see the online interactive versions of your project, but you will also have the ability to save and print copies of them too. These printable versions of each project look the same as the ones you would receive if you chose the printed option. So if you want all the extras that come along with Basecamp, but would still like to be able to work on paper, you can achieve this by using the online version. Though you have the resources needed to complete your path in printed materials, your experience and path options are limited. You can still log on to view badges, print certificates, and download printable resources, but you cannot use or see the online versions of your projects. Print paths are limited as well. There's only 5 paths available in English and 2 in other languages. Once you've chosen how to experience Pathways, you pick your path. And if you select Basecamp, then you will take the Pathways assessment online. This is a quick and simple tool to help you identify the path that best meets your needs, interests, and goals. In the assessment, you will be asked about your experiences, goals, interests, and objectives. From your responses, a path is recommended to you. You may be excited, energized, or even surprised by the path it recommends you. The Pathways assessment helps to point you to the best possible direction. You can choose this path or select one from the other 9. If you choose to pursue printed materials, you can skip the Pathways assessment and select the path available to you. To determine which path is best for you, I'd recommend everyone read fully the descriptions in the navigator, which we'll discuss shortly. Even if you choose the printed materials, you can still complete this ordering process online. And if you don't have access to online, there's a form that you can fill in and send to Toastmasters to order the path you want. Price in. You each will receive your first path when the program rolls out in our district for free. Members who join after Pathways launches in our district will receive a path free with their membership. The second path and all those after are $20 each. If you're completing your path on Basecamp, that's all you'll pay for your path. If you choose to order a printed materials, you'll pay an additional $25 to cover the costs. This $25 also applies to your first path. So, if you're doing the printed version, your first path is free, but you will pay a $25 additional charge for the printed materials. Note that members will be paying this directly themselves, as they do today, to Toastmasters International. Once you've chosen your path, you're ready to get started to log into Basecamp. Even if you choose to use printed materials, you'll want to log in and review the navigator. So who here, when they first joined Toastmasters, had a really informative guide that told them everything about the meeting roles, what these club officers were, and how to get the most out of Toastmasters? Who had that guide? Yeah, there isn't that guide available at the moment. But with Pathways, this guide is the navigator. It will be uploaded to everyone's transcript on Basecamp. The navigator is an exciting, interactive tool that contains essential information for new members, like how the club works, what key club officers are, and what roles are, and much, much more. For current members, it also has important information about Pathways and the new evaluation process. When you don't have an answer to a question, open up Navigator. I encourage you to explore the Navigator as soon as you receive it. Remember, you're not going to get this item in the mail. You'll need to log into Basecamp to review it or to print out a PDF copy for yourself. At each club visit, I'm leaving one bound copy for each club and a digital copy on the pen drive. Now that you've finished ordering your path, you're ready to begin your first project. Here we're going to step through a demo of the Icebreaker project, but all the other projects that we talked about will follow a similar format. You must complete this Icebreaker project before you complete any other on your path. After that, you're able to complete the projects in each level in any order, but you must move through the levels sequentially. For example, you can't complete level 3 until you've completed level 2. The final project you will complete on your path is Reflect on your path at level 5. Let's say you choose the Presentation Mastery path and that you're completing it on Basecamp. You will log into Basecamp and access your education transcript. Here you will see the first project you're required to complete, the Icebreaker. To open it, you'll click Advance. Then you'll click Launch. Remember, make sure your pop-up blocker is turned off. All the interactive projects and resources will open in new windows. For those who considered printed materials, you'll receive your first shipment in standard shipping time. It will contain level 1s and 2 of your path, and it will look like this. But don't worry to wait to receive your booklets. The interactive version of Icebreaker Project is available now on the Pathways webpage. You can download it and print a PDF version of the project from this interactive version. You begin the project and open the window. You hit Begin to start reading through the project. One of the first screens you'll see here shows you how to navigate through the project. There's a tutorial on Basecamp as well that will walk you through this. Arrows to the left and the right of each page allow you to move from one page to the next. And you'll find quite a few screens that have some sort of interactivity. All these screens with interactivity have directions tabs towards the bottom of the page. Here we can see Back in grey and Next in red. Click on the arrow to the right of the page to read through your project. Once you click through the introduction screen, which gives an overview of what the project is, you'll go on to your assignment. This is where you'll find the purpose and overview of your assignment that you will complete. There are the tasks you must complete in order to finish the project and move on to the next project. There's also a downloadable project checklist that will be able to give you the basic steps you need to complete to finish your assignment. The next screen asks you to assess your current skill level. You rate yourself on each of the statements. You will complete this assessment again after you complete the project, and you'll get to compare how you improved from the time you began the project. Following the Assess Your Skills screen is a list of competencies that you will learn and practice in the project. Who likes watching YouTube videos? Of course we do. It's a great way to learn and gather new skills. Well, here we have the option of videos that members have made on sharing tips on completing the Icebreaker. You can navigate to any other section of the project using the navigation box at the bottom of the screen. Now you've read all that content about the project, you will come to a screen titled Complete Your Assignment. This is where you actually start working on the tasks that make up your assignment. On this screen, you will again find that project checklist you saw earlier. Use it to help you determine what steps to take next. The next page includes all the information you'll need for your evaluation, and I would in fact recommend you read this as well before you start your project. This will help you understand what skills and learnings your evaluator is going to score you on. Your evaluator will need a copy of the evaluation resources for your project. You can either download it and send it to them, or they can find it on Basecamp and bring it to the meeting. If you're working in printed materials, you can simply give your booklet to your evaluator. Once you complete all the tasks and give your speech, you log back into the project to complete your second self-assessment. On this screen, you assess your skills again based on everything you learned while completing the project. You'll be able to see a comparison of your skills before and after the project. After you complete your assignment, you get a badge. Yay! This is the Path Activation Badge. This marks the completion of your first project and the start of your path. In this example, you'll receive the Motivational Strategies Activated Badge. You'll receive your next badge when you complete Level 1. So, when can you get your hands on Pathways? Well, Pathways will be out in our district on the 20th of March, which is not long. However, I know some of you are working towards awards in the current education programme. That's okay. You have plenty of time to fulfil those requirements before the current education programme is phased out. Whether you are on a current education programme, you have a choice to make. From the day Pathways rolls out in our region, you will have 2 years to complete your goals, i.e. from the 20th of March 2018, when Pathways rolls out, you'll have until the 20th of March 2020. Please keep in mind that your achievements towards goals in the current programme will not be transferable to Pathways. The projects and structures of learning are so different for the two programmes. This applies to the Distinguished Toastmaster Award too. If you want to reach a goal you've been working on in the current programme, I encourage you to meet this as soon as possible. Once Pathways is rolled out in our district, all new members must and will begin in Pathways. They cannot start in the current education programme. This programme is new to all of us. I know some of you completed Competent Communication manual many times. You're experts on it and the current education programme. It's okay that no one in your club is a Pathways expert yet. We will all have an opportunity to learn and become experts together. And it's an exciting time to be a Toastmasters and part of Toastmasters clubs. So, how does this affect your club meeting? Does anyone know? It doesn't affect it at all. Your club benefits from Pathways just like you do, with all opportunities to practice and develop more skills than ever before, which makes your club more desirable to many prospective members looking to broaden their skills. This is an exciting new programme. Pathways represents a clear paradigm shift, but you're familiar because everything about Toastmasters you love will remain the same. Club meetings are exactly the same. In fact, most of the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. Table topics, evaluations, yes, and you still give speeches just as you do in your club meetings today. And you still fulfill those meeting roles. Pathways does not extend the length of your meetings. For those interested in the Distinguished Club programme, over the 2 years that both education programmes will be running in parallel, you'll have an option to select how clubs achieve the DCP Distinguished Club programme points. On the left is how awards are done in the current programme. On the right, it shows the column for Pathways DCP goals. This encourages all of us to begin our journey in Pathways while still achieving that distinguished statuses for our clubs. I hope you're as excited about Pathways as I am, and Pathways, as I say, is coming to our district very soon on the 20th of March. We'll have to wait until it officially rolls out until we actually can get started. But I want to get you over some basics to get you ready. I bought a rollout kit to your club that has some essential information. Your Vice President Education is going to hold on to this for your club. There's a printed copy of the Navigator. There's a quick start guide, which you should all have. There's a thumb drive that contains a digital version of the Navigator. I've only shown you a few aspects of using Basecamp today, but I just wanted to point out that on Basecamp, there's this first block called Navigating Basecamp. If it's the first time you log in, it will actually give you some overview of how to use Basecamp. But I urge you all, go and have a look in Basecamp if you're having any difficulties, because there's some great videos and helpful tutorials to help you get the most out of it. As I mentioned before, you must disable your pop-up blocker in your browser to access the online projects and resources. Basecamp has actually added a feature to check the compatibility of your browser. So if you've got a pop-up blocker activated, it will tell you and give you a guide on how to turn off your pop-up blocker. Even after today's meeting, I will still be able to offer support to your club. As your Pathways Guide, I will be holding virtual support sessions for your VPs and presidents of your clubs to help answer any questions they come up with. I'm running this for the next 4 months on a weekly basis. So please, if you've got any questions and you can't find the answer, ask your VPE and we'll get those answered in our weekly support sessions and get those answers back to you. As you can see from the Quick Start Guide, you have to log in to Toastmasters International. Who's actually logged in to Toastmasters International website? I urge you all to do this as soon as possible. If you don't have access, there's a way of resetting your password, but we need to do this all before the 20th of March so we can ensure we all get access. Toastmasters International website is at toastmasters.org. If you type that in your browser, you can then see a login in the top here. If you click this, it'll take you to the login screen. If you've got your username and password, then just simply type it in. If you don't have your password, type in the email that you registered at Toastmasters and click Forgotten Password. That will then send you a brand new password so you can log into Toastmasters. Now you're logged in, I urge you to go and have a look at Pathways. And this is where you'll access Pathways when it comes online. At the moment, it will say Pathways isn't available until the 20th of March. But after then, you'll be able to access it by clicking the links here. At the moment, go and click on the Learn More link and go and see the history behind how Pathways has been developed and understand more about that first project, the Icebreaker. So please go away today and please ensure you can log in. And if you can't, go and get that password reset today. That's the end of the presentation. If you've got questions, as I say, save them for the club visit when we come and visit the club. If I've already visited the club, then please go and look up online when Pathways is available, or ask your Vice President Education and President, and we can get those answered in the weekly support calls that I'll be running. So it's been my pleasure giving you an overview of what Pathways is. I hope you're as excited as I am about the possibilities and these new projects available to us to really help excel our learning and help us all to become better public speakers and better leaders. Thank you.